This is Shadowhawk841, and welcome back to this week's episode of Play and Talk, as I talk dramatically.
Hey everyone.
Hey, I want to. There was a duel scene. Never mind. There was new patch notes, and I randomly got a bunch of Apex packs. What about you?
I haven't gotten the packs though. From it though. It's just that since I haven't really logged in this game in a while.
Yeah, same. It's just like I haven't logged in like a couple weeks since. Yeah, I got about 7 packs, and I got the BD.
Yeah, that new BD1 skin. Yeah,
I got that too. Let me see if I have it somewhere. Fuck. How do I? Okay, so BD1, got it. Let me see if I can find it. That's nope. I'm sorry. It's just like I'm trying to look for the damn thing. Weird. I can't even see it on my list. I'll give it a bit. Alright. There's quite a bit to talk about. Let me check the news real quick, just as a refresher. Some interesting news about the COPPA thing with YouTube. YouTube's even reaching out to the FTC for clarification because it's gonna affect their not only the bottom line but the content that they host online. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry, I was just reading something. The COPPA thing, I don't really understand it because admittedly the law has always been something that's been hard to wrap my mind around.
Yeah, we're not a lawyer, so we're gonna leave that to the lawyer stuff. Though I do take like a class or two in how laws work back in high school, but that's about it.
Yeah, so for me, that's just basically.
Yeah, this is way out. This is way out of our expertise. This is way above what we. This is not our. Yeah, it's not. What's the right word? It's not something that we're used to. Like we're not very knowledgeable about it.
Because the thing about children's content is I've also never been sure how to navigate that stuff because I at least I would say understand though, but at least I get what it is that COPPA's goal is though, primarily to protect children from there, and I understand that because kids are very impressionable.
I looked up some details, and the reason why it was like that because YouTube wasn't doing a very good job of how they're handling children's data. To put it,
and unfortunately, because since a lot of things that were marketed as children's content but were anything but also kept slipping, so understandably.
I remember like Nightmind like looking into the matter and seeing how they adjusted with just because of him looking at like investigating, like adding tags related to it. It's kind of creepy.
So yeah, I would say for YouTube, I don't begrudge them at all for it. At least for COPPA, at least on paper, I support it.
Yeah.
Because at least, again, I do fully get what it's going for, and I would support it in that manner. Because yes, protecting kids on YouTube is definitely really good for that. I mean, it wasn't so much an issue for me because I wasn't really heavily into YouTube when I was a kid, even though it did come out in 2005. I didn't start getting into YouTube until, give or take, when I was in middle school, so I was already outside the age range of where something like COPPA
around 2010s. I learned the 2010s, early 2010s.
Clips are what cities use in their
give or take, like senior year of high school, like 3, it'll be 4 years come the coming year since I left there. So 8th grade would be putting it somewhere around 2012, give or take, somewhere between 2010 and 2012.
Yeah.
So I would say from that, I at least can get what that is for, because again, I was really well outside the range of what COPPA is aiming for, where COPPA looks like it's more aiming for children that are more like between the ages of like 5 to 10, as opposed to by that point when I was already well into my teens by that point.
Yeah, you'd be less likely to be vulnerable to some of the weird-ass stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So hence why I would say that COPPA wasn't aimed for people like me when I did get into YouTube for that, so at least I could get it. So I would say from all that, I at least support the goal. I'm just not sure there's a lot of other YouTubers who are way more knowledgeable on this stuff than me.
Yeah, there was I heard there was even
saying,
a walkout, like a walkout because of the some of the changes to like YouTube's policy. They're just being more like transparent, like commercially viable. It just doesn't.
Yeah, I think that's what I saw as a YouTuber complaining that it wasn't transparent enough from what they were trying to show. So that was a lot of them with the biggest problem of it was not necessarily goals, which again I would say from there though at least is more understandable, because yeah, especially for merchandising the kids though, because obviously in the 80s that was being more of an issue, and that's why even the FCC had to even go in and just be like, hey, you can't just be outright marketing to kids anymore. Try to actually have something else, which is why we had a whole bunch of cartoons that were basically thinly veiled commercials, because they were just able to skirt that law, though.
Just to be sure, is their mic alright? It's a little spotty. Whoa. Nice.
Don't worry, I'm here.
Don't shoot me.
Ah! Can you hear me better?
Yeah. You were saying?
All right.
I'm sorry. It's just that you're.
Yeah, I'm saying it was only just from there, because I guess yeah, I can at least get that YouTube wants to enact its own versions of like what the FTC was doing in the 80s, where they were basically trying to make it so that companies weren't just outright marketing toys for kids. So hence why they started
exploiting kids. You. I saw the like bits and pieces of what you showed me. It's like, damn.
Oh yeah, that scenario. It was like, yeah, that was just like really freaking heavy when I saw that one, because and that's also the other side of COPPA, which definitely is the sort of thing there, because since kids content was becoming so profitable. In fact, I think like Ryan's Toys Reviews was like easily, I think, the top 5 like most profitable YouTube channels. I know it was like super high up there, like in top 5 area easily, from all that. So like for that, it was definitely made even more sense for why something like COPPA was being made, because kids content was not just this niche thing. It was actually something that was generating billions of dollars for creators. And then there was like that one woman who now died in the hospital of apparently I think it was a brain hemorrhage, where yeah, she was found basically abusing and exploiting her kids just so that she could basically get in on some of that child content monetization thing. So yeah, COPPA is something that at least with a more something to dissuade people from just immediately jumping into that. So at least I can get it from there.
Yeah.
It's
a very complicated subject, and it's a very complicated subject.
So, hence for that, I overall think I'm more the area of I could end up supporting it, but again, I don't know enough about it to really lend full support.
What's the caveats? Anyway,
yeah, sure, caveats.
Some really stupid news about like some like a couple of the Star Wars actors like John Boyega and
the simple answer for all that was that no, none of them were showing some sort of huge dislike of TLJ.
Yeah. They're just like is that a good idea? Like at a few points, you know, like some people have disagreements from time to time. Fucking stupid.
Which I think is fine enough for it, though. I mean, it was honestly pretty fair criticism, and I think this comes from that thing where, like, you know, because unfortunately, since the people who dislike The Last Jedi have been such toxic assholes for basically the better part of like the 2
and I
years.
also get annoyed at people like misreading stuff, and it's like, oh, the Last Skywalker is gonna like backtrack what the Last Jedi.
Even though Abrams has said on repeated instances of asking of that question, no, I'm not doing that. There is not going to be any retconning in this. I mean, we'll still see what ends up happening to see what happens, but considering Abrams' sensibilities, I'm not really going to have any reason to believe it.
There's a reason why I don't engage in fandoms that much. This is
same for me.
Like this.
I basically keep that stuff on the down low.
I replied to your tweet. I was like, this shit again. This is just like people were still complaining about how Mass Effect 3 originally ended, and Andromeda.
Like overall, like it was only more with specific elements rather than because they disliked it. Though I mean, overall, they've said on numerous times that they liked it. John did, Daisy did, and the rest of them. So it's
they
not
just
really
expressed some
an issue
iffiness
there.
at some point. It happens.
Which I think is a fair thing. I mean, I like The Last Jedi too. I don't ever proclaim it as some perfect movie. I mean, sure, there's going to be spots in it, though, that I could have issues with. My main one would really just be more of just really the structure of it, just to feel uneven at points. But overall, between that, maybe a few other things, I would say it just doesn't detract for it, though.
Yeah,
and their criticisms were pretty fair of it, though. So I'm like, hey, it's fine, especially because for John, where his was more of a workplace situation thing, because he was really divorced from a lot of his cast members that he worked in the previous movie, which I would say isn't something I'd be against, though, or at least I could sympathize with that.
I think our Pathfinder is AFK. Should we leave?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
So,
this is like, I'm just like staring at the screen. This is like, oh, and some. Yeah, it's just like everybody has some issues with a movie or something at some point, and we're all getting worked over a movie for kids and everybody else.
Especially people trying to act like this was some planned thing, which I swear people really need to stop acting like anything is or anyone is able to go at very specific points. Like, okay, at this point, John, you are to say something kind of negative about it, about The Last Jedi for whatever reason. When it's like they're humans, and also because these are interviews where they are responses to questions, they're not things coming out of the ether. They are questions that they are asked, and they're just responding honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
it's
for it
giving
because
it's giving me a fucking headache.
I mean, just today, I had to mute basically any of the words that involve Star Wars, Rian Johnson, any of the cast members' names, because at this point, it's just feeling insufferable for it. And especially once The Last Jedi comes out next week, I already know
next
that
week
I'm gonna have
on
to be
Disney Plus, right? I thought it comes out 6 days.
It comes out next week on the 20th, but I'm seeing it the 19th.
Oh, I think you mean The Rise of Skywalker. You kind of got those two mixed up.
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker. That's what I'm saying, because it comes out next week. For that, so
next
hence
week,
why
holy
I'm more.
Shit. Time flies by quickly.
So from there, that's why, like afterwards, I would say, Nord, that if you're gonna contact me, just do it on Messenger at least for like that first month or two, because I'm gonna be staying off Twitter entirely, basically from that, because I already just don't want to deal with that whole nonsense.
Yeah, fuck fandoms. It's like. I know that
I mean,
some people get defensive about how fandoms.
I don't necessarily say that,
it's just like
the thing.
I keep. I remember I was interacting with some people in a Discord chat, and I was pretty cynical towards fandoms. I even talked about
you have to breathe.
You've heard of Confiscate, right? How some of the people involved try to make comics, and they're not good. I tried to point that out to them, and they were saying like, oh, they know they're not. They don't seem like Comic-Gate adjacent.
I specifically say I just don't like the internet side of fandoms, because I find that when you step away from that, it's nowhere near as far as you or other people think it is. Like I know from experience, like I think of one of my best friends, Parker. I've known him since like elementary school. Where like I still remember when we were at Universal one day, because I brought them in because using tickets, and they were where I brought up Captain Marvel when I said I was looking forward to it. And then he was still always saying like,
oh, the thing is in the lava. Fuck.
Where like when it came to the thing that was like about what I briefly mentioned, the stupid non-controversy of the Brie Larson thing though, and all he said was like, yeah, I kind of heard something about it, but that's about it. So it often shows that it's actually not nearly as big as we often think they are, but it's very easy to understand why.
I remember reading an article on Pew Research that that the Twitter demographics don't reflect the population in the United States.
Reloading.
Yeah, it's true though, and with The Last Jedi, you can see much the same thing. Because considering that Cinema Score had an A+,
an A
on its site though, and they're actually use more scientific methods. Like they actually interview people who have seen the movie and also couple that with how it was the highest selling DVD sales though of that of 2018. You do not get something like that unless people generally like the movie, though. And I noticed this even when I went to conventions, like my MegaCon.
Thank you, Xander, 0301 for the follow. Thank you very much for the follow. Sorry for interrupting. It's just that we got a follow on the. We got a follow. I'll give you a shout out.
Well, at least that's good then.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's just what I say with that when things like that you do not get something like an A+ on Cinema Score or something like the highest amount of sales on DVD in your given year that it came out, unless the general public actually really likes your movie. So again, I would say the internet is really usually not something that is indicative of that. And again, I often think of my friend Parker as usually being someone who represents that kind of thing because he doesn't use social media too much. He's on Instagram where he frequently like posts about cars and he just uses it to follow some other people. But generally, he's not really super involved, especially with the fandoms of any sort of thing he's interested in. He loves the Fallout games, but even he's not really into the fandom, basically.
Yeah,
I find for a lot of people,
and this person, and people I talk to, they find themselves engaged in the fandom too easily when they get something when they find something cool new that's cool.
So yeah,
it's
that's always
spirited
what I
conversation.
find about it, though. Honestly, that's always the most refreshing thing to see. And again, I always say conventions are the great way of honestly seeing this firsthand. Where very often, a lot of these people are either at best aware of it, but not really to the full extent it is on the internet, or they're just actually completely oblivious to it. Like again, like I think of Star Wars Celebration when I went there in April of 2017. Like if you saw the internet, you would be thinking that The Force Awakens was more of a mostly received movie. Except when you actually went to Star Wars Celebration, virtually everyone who was there was already really liking the movie. Same for MegaCon as well, though. Like so many people from there were also very much into the movie.
Yeah,
from
and
that.
So
I
remember people really into The Last Jedi and Rose Tycho.
So yeah, it's very much like that though, because again, I would say the internet's never the sort of place that you should be getting a what's the demographic thing. Again, I would say
social media. It's actually social media. It's like a twisted hall of mirrors reflection on society. It's not very.
It's very much like what Ask a Game Dev said when it comes to statistics, which is always the 80-25 rule, which is basically 80% of people.
Yeah. 80-20-5. Just to clear things up.
Which is basically that 80% of people do not get involved, do not really say anything on social media. They engage with either the movie, game, whatever, and leave it at that. Another 20% engage with it in some manner or another, and then the remaining 5% are the more hardcore types, the ones who are like super duper dedicated to it. So that's where I would say from that, and it always ends up panning out. And I always say the best way of showing this is to follow someone who's not really into the internet side of it, though, which is actually way more people than you think it would be. And you find that they pretty much have more mellow opinions of it, though, or not nearly as strong ones as some others could say. So, and honestly, that's always pretty refreshing, though. But it's a lesson you can very easily forget, as even I have at several points.
I remember reading someone asking Dave an ask that they are taking some issue with it, like how the more dedicated users tend to give out more detailed video systems, and I forget what was asking. Asking Dave pointed out that it's not exactly representative of what everybody else feels or thinks about this particular product.
Very good.
I remember now.
Yeah, I find people are just usually just pretty chill, especially when it comes to games as to what content receives. Like how the Battlefront community was getting so fucking pissy because instead for the new heroes that are coming for Battlefront 2 in 2019,
BB-8 and
2020 in January, BB-8 and BB-9E as heroes. Which when I saw that, I went, oh, that's pretty different. I'm actually kind of interested to see where that goes.
I just like, oh, this is gonna be fun, like being a tiny ball of destruction.
It's more of their support characters. They're not the sort of ones that you would have to worry about as far as fighting, but they sound more the ones that support their teammates, which I say, hey, that's good. That at least adds some extra variety to it.
Reminds me of SCP-079, the old AI thing in SCP Secret Laboratory. You're probably lost in what I'm talking about, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty lost on there.
You ever heard of the SCP Foundation? There's
not really, no.
It's a website where people can contribute to like various stories and stuff to the wiki, and it's basically like where this group called the Foundation contains like amountless like unusual objects and creatures and put them into storage. You know, like the storage at the end of Indiana Jones, the first movie.
Yeah.
it's where they managed to contain the Ark of Covenant. It's like that, or Warehouse 13. It's very much like that.
1 minute before
Okay.
the ring closes. We
So
have
yeah,
time
that's why I
to
said when I
unleash
saw the fan pissiness there, though, which it seemed to be, while some of it was just based on just the characters who made heroes at all, but just because they feel as if that's somehow being, as if like it's
Great.
removing
The ring is
the
close.
possibility
Less
of
than a
other
minute.
heroes like Poe or Ahsoka or whoever from joining, which I always find is never really the case. Whenever they always end up working on multiple stuff
A
at once.
champion just
That's what a
fell.
live service
They
team is
must not be
always
very
doing.
good.
But even still from there, I always just say keep yourself open, because as a lot of people have pointed out, like in Battlefront 2015 when Greedo and Nine Num came for the first of the Outer Rim pack, like people were
Yeah.
fucking fuming over that. They were just like,
That was
really,
an unusual
Greedo
choice.
instead
I'll
of
have to
Boss,
admit. I'll have to admit that was an
ID88 or
unusual
Vanguard?
choice. That was an unusual choice. I'll admit.
Keep eyes on the new kill
Or the
leader.
case of Nine Num, like really, you're going with Nine Num instead of Lando or Chewbacca or someone else though who could have been in that spot. Like really? And then those characters came out, and to this day, so many people are still saying, "Hey guys, can you please add those two characters again?" So it's always
I'm
like,
also
again,
surprised they
keep an
didn't
open
add
mind.
in Jen Erso in Battlefront 2, or the antagonist Kenrick, I think.
Krennic, yeah. I'm not sure if they will add those in the future, but it does, based on their comments, it looks like they're starting to transition out of the Clone Wars and starting to go to the other eras. It looks like sequel trilogy will be it for the next few months, where they're actually integrating that into Capital Supremacy, with the debut map being the new planet from The Rise of Skywalker, and then they're going to be including Takudana and Jakku. He said not Crate, though, because he said that Crate as a map would be saying that they're trying to see if they can, but it would be very problematic too, which I can understand. If the map doesn't
What would that be
suit it.
problematic?
Location for us. Check your
Because the
maps.
map for Jakku really wouldn't be
Yeah,
good.
Xander said, I'm sorry for missing out, so like Warehouse 13 is a good example. It is for SCP. I've been doing my best to describe what it was like to describe the SCP Foundation, and I seen him nailed it with the comparison to Warehouse 13. But,
So
more on the,
that's the things I always say for that. And in general, I always just think that it's always great to keep an open mind with stuff, though, on this. And especially, and while it was more something that was annoying me, though, which was where one of the YouTubers I follow for news, she was saying that because Dennis Brenvall, the design director for Battlefront 2, said that even with Poe, they didn't end up making it because they found that even when they were constantly working on him, they found they couldn't make him fun, and was trying to say that that sounds like a cop-out and good developer would be able to do so, which in general is like, one, that's a really shitty thing to say. Two, if skilled directors who designers who have been doing this for years tell you we could not make this fun, that's a good indicator that it was not going to be fun. If they don't find it fun, chances are you won't find it fun either.
yeah, that's a good point.
Because the thing about this, and again, the thing I've loved most about Battlefront 2 is the fact that how all the heroes are unique, and especially with trying to bring someone like Poe into the mix, that brings up the same question of bringing Jango Fett in there. What do they have to? What do they stand
aside
to
from
offer?
aside from different weapons,
Aside from, well, no, not even different weapons, because Poe would be using the same exact weapon as Finn does.
Yeah.
So what would separate Finn from Poe from Finn in the same way that how would Jango Fett be made to be different than someone like than Boba Fett? And from these people, they funnily enough, even though they keep claiming that it can be done, even from a hypothetical standpoint, they still couldn't even describe it. The best they could do is say, well, they could maybe give them different abilities, but different abilities isn't enough to go and say how.
what about
isn't
the
enough to go and say whether that would
Mandalorian
be
from the
different.
TV show? Just a random.
He wouldn't really be able to fit, because I would say from him the problem could be more of, like, since he would no doubt be put on a light side roster, there'd be no real direct counter for him to be against.
The assassin
also
in episode 5. She looks like she might be a bit of a recurring antagonist in the later half of the series, at least for the season.
You will see, but honestly, it just comes to this thing where I'd prefer them to mainly just focus on uniqueness rather than just trying to throw in every character, because again, that's what Battlefront 2 2005 more or less is trying to do, which is just trying to throw in every character from the movies they could throw in, and then the characters ended up just being very interchangeable from each other, which is something they don't want to really have. So again, I would always say that's clearly what their focus was on this, and that's why they always try to make sure that any characters they make are the sort of ones that are going to be very different. I think a great way of illustrating this would be when they created Obi-Wan and Anakin. Those two characters are pretty much entirely different from each other, splitting up different from each other, so that way it ends up making it so where the two never really end up being the same as each other. Like in the case of Obi-Wan, he's very defensive.
Yeah, that's
He's basically designed explicitly for being so of someone who's all about just trying to be defensive. Anakin found himself being more on the offensive side, the one who tries to keep himself.
Which actually fits their character quite well.
So then that comes with it. Like when people try to say adding Jango or when it comes to adding Poe, it comes with that question. What do they stand to offer that either Boba Fett or Poe doesn't already Finn doesn't already give?
Yeah.
And the simple answer is that because the designer or even trying it, they could not make there a difference.
Yeah.
It would effectively just be reskins. Maybe at most they'd add different abilities, but again, different abilities isn't enough to make the character unique. They have to also feel different from how they move, how they fight, how they do all these different things. If you don't have that, then even with different abilities, people are just going to feel like you're just playing the same character, and that's something that DICE is going out of its way to avoid.
Speaking of Mandalorian, guess who actually was Palladio's stunt double? You know, I forgot his name, but he was the son of the John Lewis. No. Give me a second. I need to look it up. I forgot the guy's name. Yeah, the actor who appeared in a lot of like Western movies and stuff. I honestly blanked out on the name. Give me a second.
Yeah, that's fine though. You're good.
Like I said, I am not good at like keeping track of names.
No, I suck at them too. Even the thing I describe, I can only describe the stuff around it. Like with Alita Battle Angel, which has been something I've seen more discussion as of late as well.
Oh, because it's going to be a sequel?
Yeah, a lot of people are trying to
John Wayne. John Wayne. Yeah, that's it. John Wayne. Thank you. John Wayne. The son John Wayne, he's the stunt double for for the actor who played the Mandalorian. Hey, do you? Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
That's why I was saying for things like that, which is how I think of it as well. I mean, as far as the sequel clamoring, I would honestly be for it, but I'm honestly pretty doubtful of it, mainly because the movie performed very so-so at the box office. Didn't bomb, but it just didn't do the sort of numbers that the studio Fox was hoping for on that. It didn't do so well in America.
Doesn't Disney own Alita now? The movie version of Alita?
Yeah, Disney would own Alita now at this point since they own Fox. I mean, because the thing with Alita is that it disappointed in America by a good margin. In China, it actually did extremely well there. But I think it was what Dan Olsen said best, which is that when it undersold in America, it would have had to have been doing Transformers Age of Extinction level numbers in order to really be able to get the targets they were looking for, even just to break even, and it didn't do that level.
Oh, speaking of movies, have you seen the trailer for Black Widow?
I haven't seen it yet. I've just been so busy with other things, and I always keep forgetting to go see it though. But at least from the snippets I've seen, I've already think it's going to look really good. I already can expect that David Harbour's costume in there is going to be a highly loved. Is going to be a common sight and conventions for me for years to come when that movie comes out.
Yeah. Oh, and the Wonder Woman sequence, Wonder Woman 1984.
Saw that trailer, really loved it, and I'm especially loving the new Finn suit. So really looking forward to that when that movie comes out.
Yeah, that's actually like Wonder Woman, Black Widow.
But if there's one movie I really want to get more details on, it's whatever James Gunn's Suicide Squad has. I really want to know, like, to see more of that, to see at least a snippet.
I'm lagging here. I am so lagging.
Check your minimap.
I mean, based on this, like, James Gunn has been, like, super happy with us, and he considers it after his Instagram Q&A, where he says that even though a lot of his films haven't been fun to work on, but he still loved making them, but it says that the Suicide Squad has been his most fun project that he's worked on, so it makes me really hoping to see what he has
here's hoping to do that as well. It's gonna be better than the first Suicide Squad movie, which
trust me,
much.
Most things will be better than that movie. It's just also such a shame because a lot of its talent was really good, but they were just very
Wasted.
They were just so undersold on it. Yeah, they were wasted on that. I mean, especially Karen though, the woman who plays Katana in there, because she's really great in The Boys though, which is the only other thing I've seen her in, and it just makes it just so unfortunate that she's so undersold in the movie.
Okay, got it.
I shot down a cargo bot.
A cargo bot.
So hopefully, at least from this though, we'll be seeing what he has to bring into it. Because really, the only returning cast member was only Margot Robbie from the last movie. So it looks as if basically
I thought
it's
Will
gonna be
Smith was involved as
disconnected.
well.
Who?
Will Smith?
Will Smith? No, he didn't return for it.
That's surprising. Why
So
not?
Margot Robbie is like the only person coming back. I don't know if the new actors, if any of them are essentially recasts, or if they're essentially just entirely new characters. We won't really know until much later. But overall, I really want to see more of
Kira
that.
Capote and Taiki Wadi are also going to be involved, surprisingly.
Yeah, so also looking forward to seeing how that ends up panning out as well. So
Yeah.
a lot of movies coming out though, and especially
And it's going to
just
be really
from that,
packed on
though.
Marvel's
Pretty
side
close.
of things.
Yeah, Marvel's movies are getting more unpacked on there, and apparently it looks as if when it comes to the WandaVision thing, which is going in that some people were predicting in that sort of she
45
ends up putting
seconds.
herself in a
Rings
sort of
close.
past sort of what if scenario where her and Vision got married, and looks as if that's going to have some pretty dangerous probably implications later on in Marvel. So who really even knows what'll happen at this point?
Dangerous?
30
As
seconds
in...
remaining. The ring is
Meaning
nearby.
like-
As in, like, she could potentially go. she
Oh,
essentially
like
could
House of
become
M
somebody-
from the comics.
Yeah, like that.
There is a new kill leader.
Oh shit, let's hope it doesn't... doesn't...
Kill leader.
Ooh,
Watch
this...
for them.
That's
But
gonna be-
honestly, if there's one thing I really wish that the MCU would be having, and it's honestly been on my mind for a
The
while,
ring's close.
is definitely to
10
have
seconds.
Ghost Rider more on the movie side. I know that Robbie Reyes was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and that he's made an appearance there, but
Yeah.
I mean more as in, like, that we could see him more as a movie on it. I have seen some people who have said, though, that they feel that it would be super tricky because of how powerful Ghost Rider is, because yeah, Ghost Rider is like one of the most powerful heroes in Marvel as it is. The only thing that can harm him being holy weapons, which is something that hasn't existed. But I feel like you could get around to that. I mean, like Doctor Strange could pop supernovas in the comics, but he's not doing it in the movies. So you could easily just downgrade him if you needed to
Yeah.
from that. But I also feel like
I've heard that Kevin Feige is interested in doing a Ghost Rider movie.
I heard
the-
that he actually wanted to do a TV show, which was going to be on Hulu, but those
Incoming
plans
care
ended up being
package. I love Hulu.
ended up getting phased out.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
they-
Speaking of the TV, the television side of Marvel is going to be integrated into Marvel Studios.
And unfortunately, with some layoffs happening in that as well,
Yeah.
which doesn't shock me that happened, because with Disney Plus now being there, they don't really need a cable for that sort of thing to begin with. Now they can just put them right on Disney Plus now. So it doesn't really shock me on there, because if they didn't have their own platform to put it on, they were just putting it on other people's. But now that they do have a platform of their own, now they're just going to have them all in one house. Which I say fine, at least it makes it more consistent and at least not as worrisome. But still,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
really
Some of the
sucks for
continuity
people who
stuff
got
for
left
the
behind.
for between the TV shows and the movies isn't isn't 100% in sync. Like with the latest season, like the creator said that it's set a year before. It's like it's set a year after Infinity War, but it doesn't. But it doesn't acknowledge it.
It seems more of it acknowledges it, but at least from how because I haven't seen the show, but I'm going based on people have, at least I've heard say, less of it not being like following the movie, but more so that it's just not going fully into it though. Like it acknowledges the events of Infinity War happen, but just not super dwelling on it, which is how these movies very frequently want to paint that sort of thing. Which I can kind of get, because they don't want it to be like essentially just, hey, we're just basically connected, so let's focus on that, and want to do their own thing, which, you know, fair enough. I can acknowledge, I at least think that's fine enough for it.
It's like, oh, that's gonna be a bit of a headache.
So I would say from there, at least I can get it. But yeah, it's just things like that, though, because I just honestly, especially since the Death Battle episode where he fought against Lobo has really reinvigorated my interest in that.
Ooh,
And it's like,
it was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. It was Ghost Fighter versus Lobo. I'd say look it up.
Nice.
I would say it's really been one of my more favorite episodes as of late. Like, I just really liked that episode, and just watching that. Since Death Battle is something I've been watching again now recently, when I've really on and off of the series based on my interests, as well as also when I was just involved with other series.
Yeah. Well, have you also been watching Dead Meat, by the way? Good channel.
I have not.
It's a good channel, believe me.
So I would say that's invigorated for it. And yeah, it's just that for Ghost Rider, I'd like to go and see for that. I know Nick Cage in an interview like a long time ago, when he was asked though, because he says that he wasn't really interested in redoing the role after the two movies, where he said that he hopes at least that it would be a woman for the next one, which I say, hey, Alejandra being in there, that's fine enough with me.
Nice.
I mean, from doing that.
Oh, I remember that that in one of the trailers for the second Ghost Rider movie, where he pisses fire. I'm not making it up. He did.
No, I remember it. I honestly felt the first movie was for it. I actually liked Cage's performance in the first movie, but I felt like the director and the writers of the second one were asking Cage to be too much like Cage, to be too crazy on that, and it just went way overboard in the way that's not fun, but is instead juvenile.
But the pacing part just made me crack.
So I would say from the first one, I actually thought the first one was overall okay, and I thought Cage himself was at least good in it, even if I thought he was a bit old for the part, because Johnny is like really young in the series, whereas Nick Cage by that point was middle-aged. But overall, I would say I liked his though, while the rest of the movie was just okay. But the second movie,
he was going to be Superman at one point. He was Ghost Rider, and he was one version. Here's Noir Spider-Man.
So yeah,
that's an impressive resume.
He's had quite a history.
Yeah, hell of a history. Oh, have you seen the announcement trailer for the remake of Resident Evil 3?
I have not yet, but I've heard a lot of people talking about it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. I never got the chance to play Resident Evil 2. Never got the chance to buy it even.
Good luck.
And it was even on one of the top choices for voters pick for at the Game Awards. And unfortunately, it didn't make it to the final rounds. Games like Death Stranding.
Resident Evil isn't really a series that I have much experience with. My main of experience would mainly be only Resident Evil 5 because I played that a lot of the time with my cousin back then. It's honestly one of my better gaming memories from that point. And I paid a little bit of 6, but I thought it wasn't really good. And then Revelations, I played like the first episode because it was free. And I thought it was fine, but nothing
Revelations
really
2. The second Revelations game is more episodic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch out for my squad.
I played also Raccoon City also years ago. And
Oh,
yeah,
I heard that game wasn't very good.
It was not good, like at all.
Yeah, the first time I seen on like a Dark Side Phil, you know the guy who's not very good, but somehow has some charm to it, and nowadays he's, I don't know.
So yeah, I would say from it, yeah, it wasn't really good. So overall, my experience with Resident Evil has been kind of so-so as far as games I've seen, which I either liked for it though. To one degree, but for Resident Evil 3, because I'm always told by fans that the earlier ones were best, especially I believe it was always Resident Evil 2 and 3 that were always considered the best ones. So I'm like, hey, I'm up for it.
I seen like bits and pieces of like the Resident Evil 2 remake, and there's this one part in Gunshot that just really made me cry. I'm not sure if I want to spoil it any further, but it's a pretty tragic moment. Sincerely.
Oh, that's at least good to know.
It's contrast to what it was originally in the original version of Resident Evil. That's a hell of a step up. That's a hell of an upgrade.
So, as I said, when that remake comes in, I'll definitely give it a play, though. I'll probably pick it up at some point and just go for it.
I think those Resident Evil 2 and 3 set around the same time. I think it did.
I would easily buy it, at least by release schedule, because games were released on pretty short schedules from that. Like, sequels could come out in as little as only a year afterwards, which in this modern gaming age, you have to wait like another 2 to 3 years before you saw sequels these days. For most games, anyway.
Contact. Firing.
I wonder if there's going to be DLC for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Oh shit!
I always find it so ironic that the thing that so many people were clamoring about for before Fallen Order was that explicitly that it wasn't having DLC. And the first question everyone was asking was the same with the Outer World. After people were like, "Wow, this game's so fun. Are we getting DLC later?"
Irony
again,
is
it
now
shows
lost
me
on
that,
me,
no,
and
gamers actually love this. I mean, as far as it, I don't really think it's going to, because again, Respawn even said that they never had any plans for it. So I think they're just going to put their resources into just making a new game, and especially considering that it has that colon of Star Wars Jedi, Fallen Order, it looks like it's going to be more of an anthology series.
Wait, Jedi Fallen Order? They're planning on to be... Are they saying that they're planning to make that anthology?
They haven't said, but me and a lot of people, including myself, it seems like it's going to be that way, considering it goes with Star Wars Jedi, Fallen Order. So it seems that
like
more
Jedi, like a Jedi Knight, Jedi... I get you.
Yeah, sort of like that, though, which would certainly be something that Star Wars hasn't seen since those games. So I would say for it, sounds good, though. I haven't really, don't experience anthologies much, though. So
I've seen a really dumb take.
case.
I like see a really dumb take. Someone has like I see, like on YouTube's like this is not what people wanted from EA for Jedi Fallen Order. It's like, what? Have you seen the reception? Have you seen the sales? Like, someone even pointed out in the newest gaming Discord chat. What? I'm trying to look up right now. Like EA was run about Star Wars fans. It's like Jedi Fallen Order proves EA was run about what? And the comment was just like, oh, it's the people who don't like the linear Star Wars single player games. Quote. What?
A lot of people, I would say, like them, though, but it's more of a... Because, again, it would always...
It's more...
It says, as a game dev said with this, where it's not really the single or multiplayer angle that really matters, but rather the reason multiplayers had more focus is that it can draw longer engagement from other people.
Yeah, and...
Something that single-player games can't really do, though. I mean, Fallen Order is the first...
I'm just flabbergasted at this, like, line of reasoning.
I mean, because like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is the first, what looks to be successful, financially speaking, and also critically anyway, single-player game Star Wars has had in like so many years. I mean, there was the Force Unleashed 2 released in 2010, which was 2010, which was pretty under-received. It received more of mixed to negative reviews, and it undersold poorly. The first Force Unleashed sold 8 million copies. Force Unleashed 2 barely sold 3 million.
Time to win and stay alive.
So yeah, that was like a
reminds me of how COPPA 5 was received.
That's freaking a bomb.
Oh my god, you okay?
Oh yeah, it's just like Hawko. It's just probably just about something to drink anyway. But yeah, that's ultimately what I'd say for it though. So I'm still glad that it's at least succeeding though, even though I was predicting it was going to do probably more so of underperforming. So I'm at least glad for it, and hope Respawn ends up doing more of that. I mean, sure, even though unfortunately brings out a lot of the stupid assholes, especially the ones who still always try to throw for things, like especially shade at Battlefront 2, though, which for me, even though I think a lot about, though, I kind of just wish.
Do they even can they even move on from that game if they hate it so much?
I mean, honestly, not really for these things.
Leader,
again, though, I always just this whole going on games you don't like is always very tiring and pointless. Okay. So, considering that I don't really do that for games I just don't care about.
Oh, hey,
it's a pretty alien
hey, they got the Mirage, they got the March Cowboy skin. That's he's smiling. Oh my god. Now you see
that's
this?
New. I see it.
Oh my god! Oh god!
That's new.
That is hilarious. That's great. Oh my god! You should make a highlight of this because
dude freaking stole my ammo, asshole.
Raj riding Raj in a cowboy skin, riding on his holo copy as like a cowboy. You can't get any more. I don't know. More arts than that.
So,
that's my okay. That's my. Oh my god! I actually seen the thing That's probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in this game. I swear.
So yeah, that was unexpected, but hey, at least though at least they're adding at least more interesting stuff to this
Yeah,
game.
and you can see one of Pathfinder's like emotes for mid-flight emotes was like flapping like a bird, and a crow out of nowhere decided to harass Pathfinder. It's great.
Yeah, as I said, I really like these very live service elements to it, though, way more than multiplayer games than back then, though, because of how long I can play these games without really having to go and having to worry about sequels, basically just having to go and re-spend money to transition to a game that's very so-so of whether I'll like it or not.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Yo, Mirage, help us.
Shots fired.
And dead. Oh, I saw you play Fallout 76 a couple days ago. With one of the new patches. How was it?
For it, I haven't really tested out much of it. I just signed in so I could grab the Santa.
Oh, same.
Protectron, because I just thought, okay, that'd just be super funny to have anyway. And just playing much of it though, which I was only doing some extra stuff, but like really, since I've exhausted all the quests, there's nothing really left for me to do.
Except wait for the Wastelanders update to come out, which is
what I'm gonna do when that comes out. Since I have no doubt several quests are gonna come along with it, I'll just go and end up playing on there.
Yeah, and after that's got the
But it does
holiday-based
make me
updates.
wonder as to how that's going to end up affecting, like, when it comes to new players. Does that mean the older quests will still be around, or will those just be phased out for something entirely different? That's
Like,
kind of what I'm
sort of like ESO. You played ESO, right?
I have not, no.
Yeah. With Asia, when you got a new expansion, when you make a new character, you start out at the new location. Kind of makes me wish that you can.
So,
Because
in this, you wouldn't be starting at a new location, but I mean, how the landscape would be affected, because something like what they're doing would be easily the game's biggest update that they would have, but it also would have to affect the quest lines as well, because when the original quests were made, there weren't really any human NPCs in mind, only robots, like holotapes and things like that, whereas now that they would actually be in this, that throws the question of what exactly they have plans to do.
like a different mode. Like there's regular mode.
Not even different mode, but like would that make the original quests something that would be like phased out for something entirely differently? That's kind of things like that. Since now they would have NPCs, would that start affecting their, or would the two just simply coexist with each other?
And I've also noticed another thing. Some of the people that have the Ranger outfits are wearing the Riot version, the Riot Ranger Riot outfits from the Lost on Road DLC for New Vegas, which is kind of interesting.
I'm the jump master. Duh.
I mean, as far as I would say, from having played it, I would say I still find it overall fun game, though. I mean, sure, even if I would say the bugs, and especially that
it's Bethesda. They have a shit ton of bugs.
Thing.
And
even though
have
the
you played?
Wasteland bad
Speaking
thing
of
well.
Obsidian and Fallout, Obsidian, Bethesda, and Fallout. Have you played Have you played The Outer Worlds?
I have. I already finished it a while ago. And yeah, that was definitely a really great game. I really ended up liking it. Curious to see what Obsidian's future with either that game or just other games in the future.
Yeah, they're gonna be Xbox exclusive mostly. So
yeah, because I know because Microsoft owns Obsidian.
Yeah.
So making exclusives there. But honestly, I say, hey, that's not really an issue for me. I'm just at least glad, though, that Obsidian managed to put out another great game for it. Again, there's tons of things, but this is not the perfect game, which is unfortunately because the game was great and it had a whole bunch of assholes to, with
saying like, this is how
this.
Yeah. It's like, shut up already.
Because honestly, I found in many respects, though, that even though I did love Fallout New Vegas, though, Fallout 4 definitely was a game that's still, even just replaying now, even I'm doing with mods, obviously, it's just been such a freaking blast to go and replay again, and just recaptures that feeling I had when I first got the game all those years ago. So Bethesda puts out solid content for that, and they still make
speaking of Bethesda, speaking of Fallout 4, have you looked at the new Creation Club stuff?
I have not yet, though.
It's really interesting. Like the new Vault suits for Fallout 3 in New Vegas, and and the mercenary outfits and the opportunity to visit Galaxy News radio station.
I do know of that mod because
not a mod. It's from Creation Club.
That one.
It's from Creation.
Yeah, the Creation Club. But it's still a mod, basically, for it. Because I don't mind that it's a paid mod kind of thing, because it never bothered me to begin with. Paying people for their time and effort is something that's not this thing I'd ever complain about. Because it's not canon. Nothing in there is actually something that.
Well, I think it might be canon. It depends. I think it might be canon.
Because again, if it was something that they were hoping they were planning to do, I doubt Bethesda would let modders be able to use stuff like that. It's more of just a, hey, if you want to go and do this, be my guest. It just can't. You just can't violate things. Like obviously, they can't be putting Star Wars Creation Club mods there because that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. But
unless it's a free mod. I've seen like lightsaber mods for Fallout 4.
Oh yeah, free mods is fine, but I mean like because the difference is free mods is something that Bethesda doesn't inherently endorse. But if you're a Creation Club, it does have to.
Ooh, nice! I got a level up. All right, let's see what else. What else is there? I've been hearing some really interesting twists and turns about the Watchmen show on HBO. That's really interesting.
I've watched the first 4 episodes as of yet. I still have to catch up with the remaining ones. I'm probably going to be watching the rest of them because the thing about this was I was supposed to be in Miami this week, but it got delayed to next week because my sister had work, and so she has to have her schedule remixed for that.
Oh! Did you say you're gonna look at what's that movie called? I'm not good with names.
Movie? What do you mean?
Oh, you said you're gonna watch a movie later tonight.
Yeah, Ford versus Ferrari. I'm gonna be seeing that. That's at 9:45. So I'll probably get off stream by 8 Eastern time, and then start getting ready for that. But no, don't worry, we have time.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I am wondering. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, it starts at 9:45. My movie theater is only 20 minutes away, so I don't have to worry too much. I just like to take a shower, do all of that stuff, and then be ready
I've
for
heard some
it.
good things about that movie. Some pretty interesting.
It's been a lot of people's favorite movies, though, and honestly, I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, honestly, because like the last Christian Bale movie I saw, Vice, was not very good, and I would just like to see him in a good movie again after that. And especially because since the Joker being around, since Joker's ending monologue in that movie starts to remind me of the similar one that happened in Vice, where Christian Bale as Dick Cheney basically tells the audience, it's your fault for everything that I ended up doing, which was very, very bad.
Wait, you saw terrible. Vice? I've heard there was...
Vice was a movie that was about the life of Dick Cheney, and so Christian Bale was in the movie as Dick Cheney himself. So he put on the extra weight for it. And honestly, it was just a movie that, at least generally, I thought it was more of okay, maybe years on back for me. It's been a while since I saw it. But that ending monologue where basically he's just trying to say how it's basically our fault for everything for the actions that he ended up doing, which was just very... Yeah, especially with Joker being out, started reminding me of that.
Hold your breath.
Oh, that's one of the reasons why you like Joker movie, because it leaves...
It's because now with Joker being out, it reminded me of that ending monologue actually since I was thinking of Christian Bale and Vice now, where it did a very similar thing, which is basically it was society's fault for like basically allowing everything with Cheney that during his time in politics to go the way it did.
That's stupid.
Yeah, there was just that. Although the movie I was actually, and then there was the other stuff, which was basically the movie I was about to see for Jewel, which I ended up now just was now not going to see because of being very disgusted by how Clint Eastwood ended up just basically making up the whole
Oh
thing of it.
shit! I've heard about that. It's like that. I'm not gonna see that movie. That's the case.
So it was a big, yeah. I'm like,
yikes! What can I say? Yikes!
Like honestly, there's dramatic license with it, which is something I can be fine with. It's another thing entirely when you're making something up that makes the person look actively worse. If she were alive, it would definitely just be straight. Well, no, it is definitely.
It's libel, slander. Slander, yeah, slander. Libel is
Because from what it was reported, she was actually a very integral journalist. And then instead, though, Clint Eastwood decided, because again, from a lot of reviews and based on the trailers I've seen, I'm like, oh, I could start seeing that now, which is having this the news media is awful, and like here's an instance of where it was actually awful, because the man in question was actually innocent, but was ended up being framed by apparently the FBI as being someone who was involved with the bombing that the movie's depicting. So it's like taking a case where, yes, the media, like, no question about it, the media absolutely fucked up on that whole scenario, and then that movie's just adding fuel to this fire of, like, oh, it's your media is definitely super evil, and here's an instance of that evil. Just, I cannot stand that take anymore at this point, even when it actually
they make these mistakes that doesn't, but we shouldn't condemn them as a whole. It's just like,
but yeah, I do have to admit I have a very serious problem with that, though. For that, no, I don't think it's going to set out because of people say it, because how Olivia Wilde has been going more so with basically trying to make women more prominent within Hollywood, which I would say I don't think this movie.
Oh yeah, there's like more women-led movies, not only as lead but also directed by women. Wonder Woman.
So that's where it's trying to go for that, and I very much support that. And for her, I get she's an actress and she takes roles that she finds compelling, but it's just that, yeah, and this one I feel as if she should have had more care with something like this.
Sometimes it happens.
I mean, sure. Because I think for me, the main thing that bothers me is the fact that this is an actual person that it's depicting, and it's saying that they did some evil act that they didn't actually do. If this were some completely fictional setting and character, I would not really care so much. I would just be like, maybe a bit sort of iffy on morals, but you know, it's not real, so I have no issue with it. But this is a real person who existed, and one who has had a lot of integrity, and as a lot of people throws in that sort of sexist stereotype that women who are reporters,
they have to pave the way to success. That sort of thing.
So it's like a big, now I'm not seeing it though, because that's just a very disgusting thing for anyone to do, which is something I don't really say about movies much, because usually I'm pretty nuanced with it, but that's...
You did your best to be nuanced about, like, say, movies like, say, Joker and, only to, like, just, like, show that how much of, just how bad they are.
Like, again, like, that's just, like, some super evil shit, though, and for Clint Eastwood, he should definitely be apologizing for it, but instead decide to stay with it, though, for his narrative of it. I already knew that he was already libertarian for years, but I swear, for him to be this low is still some very scummy shit.
Face palm all around. And
because again, though, if you want to go...
wait till you hear about Lindsay Ellis's take on, like,
pedophilia. Oh yeah, I remembered that post though from there, which she still has up, surprisingly. Last I checked on it.
Oh my god! It's like she considers like this type of content for, like, in fandom a low priority.
Like, no, that shit should be super high priority. Like, when it involves children, we should put their safety among, like, a freaking pedestal.
Yeah, it was a jaw-dropping bad.
It's like, what the hell is wrong with you?
I am so glad I decided to drop her like a bag of hot coals.
I already dropped her like a long time ago, but even still, that's just some very huge, like, what the fuck were you thinking?
Okay, I'm actually kind of curious. Why you dropped her a long time ago? What happened?
There's a new kill leader.
It was just really just stupid stuff she was saying, like the whole men killing women that they love, though, because of something during the plot was toxic, which to me was just such a fucking stupid thing, because she was saying the main crux of her argument would be because in real life guys who have actually done so cite similar sort of reason, like, oh, I had to kill this woman that I supposedly love, which was super stupid, because it's like, yeah, murderers come up with all kinds of stupid reasons to say why they did what they did was moral in some way. That's not a shock. It was just stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, and what's what drew me, and I made like a Twitter thread about reasons that I don't really trust her anymore. Clint Eastwood being charged as the hot take, I agree with. Yeah, sorry I didn't read your comment in time. I was too busy playing the game. We were all busy and we were talking and stuff. Yeah, Clint Eastwood being charged as a hot take, I agree with. I'm reading that out loud.
So, it was just that that's why I followed long ago, but especially with seeing that post, it was like, oh yeah, that was definitely the right decision for me to do that.
Her defending counterpoints for.
Yeah, that whole thing, because as I said, even though I'm not really educated when it comes to things like trans issues, honestly, I just feel as if I'm not really suited for to talk about it. But I do think at least it sounded pretty on the edge for the sort of things that ContraPoints was talking about, and it was sounding way too similar to something like Ben Shapiro would be arguing. So it was like a big, yeah, that's the sort of thing it shouldn't be for it. Again, that was always for Lindsay my biggest issue when it came to people like her, which was that her critical nerve basically goes away the moment that her target is either someone who is not within the realm of white cis and they were not right-wingers. If they're right-wingers, then sure, she can criticize black people, Asians, or whoever, but when they're not right-wing figures, it's like the critical nerve goes away because she's too scared that she's essentially disregarding like a trans opinion. Not losing her audience, but where she feels like she's essentially not being supportive of trans people, or just seeming as if like she was essentially whatever her version would be of essentially mansplaining it or white-slaining or whatever.
And what I'm finding out that she actually had a bit of a history involving white-splaining. That's just what people are saying. That's just what I've heard. I'm not. It's just like, yeah, there's something really off about that. So yeah, so my hot take is that Breadtube and the alt-right can go fuck themselves.
I mean, this is just always that problem with it, though, because even though I can at least get what a lot of they are wanting to do, though, but it's just unfortunately their biggest problem, and this is something I've been thinking of for a while now, which is that, yes, even though we should definitely be clamoring for better rights and better treatment of marginalized groups, like black people, trans people, etc.
But a lot of like content creators on the Breadtube side fall short of it. I'm pretty sure we discussed about it. It's just like,
we did, yes. But I would say, but my problem is that because they are putting this on, where they at least on the surface want to be able to be more inclusive of these people, it starts to go into this thing to where they feel like they can't criticize someone of those varying races who still share a lot of the same opinions they do when
like
they say something that goes into problematic
my god,
territory.
I've heard a lot of shitty things about Buck Angels. What was it about? Like him. Doxing Alana Wazowski years ago.
Yeah, I heard of something like that.
And his pyramid schemes, like pointing out the pyramid schemes against like trans people. It's like,
Okay.
you did not realize.
Again, it goes with that issue because they find themselves willing to criticize people if they're on that right-wing scale. Like, they'll be willing to criticize Blair White even though she's trans because she explicitly puts a lot of the same right-wing talking points that they try to go against. But when they find someone who's not as easy of a target as that, it's like they have the inability to criticize people anymore.
I remember there was a line in the first Harry Potter movie. Courage. Courage will be about. It's about standing up against your enemies. It is also about standing up against your friends.
Gas trap deployed.
So this is the problem I have with it, because again, I know that they want to be very aware of the stuff they're doing and that they could potentially have biases that they may not realize yet. I fully agree with those sort of things. Even I'm sure I have biases that I don't realize yet.
Yeah,
but
everybody
again,
does. It happens.
But I say just because of that, that shouldn't mean that just because whenever a trans person or a black person is saying something, especially when it starts to go into the more problematic stuff, that you should just be like, oh, well, like, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my problem with Breadtube, and it's also why I dropped it, because ultimately they're the sort of people who will not be making, well, they can make progress in aspects, but they won't be
like H-Bomb guy. I had some
like,
problems with him, but I do appreciate him trying to keep the mermaids the mermaid.
Body shield
I
here.
forgot the name.
Free.
I think it's just called mermaids. The place where it takes.
I know what you mean, yeah, because I did keep up with it except when it happened. Yeah, I appreciate the heck out of him for being able to do something like that, because he was actually doing what he could to be able to have, so that way he could actually try to support trans people, though. So hence why I'm like, yeah,
That's
you know,
right.
I'm
Yeah,
really glad that
that's actually pretty
he did
catchy.
something like that.
That's actually pretty damn catchy.
So I'm at least glad. I'm very much glad though that he was able to do that though, and I very much appreciate the heck out of him for being willing to. But it's just that from those things, it's just I just find some stuff that even with despite some good things that they do, that there's just unfortunately a very bad element to them, which could be very offsetting.
I suspect the subject spotted is there.
I want to get off. I want to get off. Now. Get the suit I pointed out at there we go. Maurice is correct. Thank you. Like I said, we are both not very good with names. It's like
Gas trap deployed.
So it's just a lot of those options for it though, and yeah, as I said, it can just be so tiring for it. Same with movie discourse though. Like again, like just earlier, it was either this week or last week, where it was just basically where I was actually trying to see someone argue that despite RoboCop being political satire, it wasn't political.
some people insist that they're. Are they idiots?
Like, yes, you just heard that right. RoboCop, a movie that is so drowning in political satire, but it's totally not political.
It's like saying Watchmen is not political.
Oh yeah, again, this is always why I say that I have a high annoyance for people who have something that they consider their favorites but don't even understand the point of them. This is how you get so many right-wingers try to insist that Watchmen was totally not political, and hence why they're so pissed at the TV show, because it brings those politics to the forefront of it.
Yeah, I've heard some
especially-
really intriguing twists about that show, like the identity of the hooded
Placing gas trap.
I'll still always love that. I know, I know, always pisses these people off, which is, are you part of the white supremacist terrorist group known as the 7th Cavalry? Always freaking love that, just that acknowledgement of it.
Yeah. And it doesn't shy away from police brutality.
That's why I still remember a lot of people's opening tweets when that first episode came in. Why does the first episode go and say, white supremacy is terrorism, bitch? So it was just like, yeah, I'm glad at least the movie
and the
ends
hooded
up
man,
just going
I
with
think
that
that's what
one.
he's called. Is actually the black man who put up makeup and stuff to really to be thorough within his identity.
So I would say from the first 4 episodes, yeah, the Watchmen show is really freaking great though. I just got to catch up with the rest of them. So
Yeah,
I
a bit
can
of a
make sure to
shame.
be watched
Alan Moore's coming
from there.
up as this old yet talented man yelling at clouds. I get why he was so cranky. It's just that
Placing
there's
gas
just some
trap.
points I just have to move on.
Again, always goes with that thing where unfortunately older creators will fall behind the times, and it's just a question of how forward-thinking they are with these things. I mean, unfortunately it happens, but at least I could still respect what he brought into the world,
Yeah.
even if I have some issues with the things he would have later.
Yeah, with this theme about about rape. Sorry
Yeah,
about the-
his huge thing about that, which definitely is just more on the super iffy side, because again, I've always said as far as depiction of rape in stories, that's not within my wheelhouse to talk
Yeah.
about, because I am way too ignorant on the subject to talk about it.
when I was thinking about like putting that in one of my stories, I had to go well, not half of it. I intentionally go
No,
out
I
of my
remember
way.
you said that guy. You told me that story plenty of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, about what I plan on doing. Like I had to go.
Gas trap
Well,
deployed.
not had that. I intentionally go out of my way to make sure, like, about my ideas. Like, are you
We are
okay with
inside
this?
the next ring.
And
A net positive result.
I said that
Incoming care package.
they
I
like
love loot.
what I have in mind, but they basically told me that be careful. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's why. Honestly, it just makes me glad that at least I'm willing to say when it comes to topics where I'm like, hey, I don't know this enough to really go into it. I feel like a lot of people could benefit from just telling themselves that.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I have to talk to people, like, not half.
Like, even though I think Berserk is a great series, its constant use of words as well has always been a great thing because of where I'm not sure as to where I think it's morally right, if ever, to even use something like that for it. Yeah, so it's just always a very big, weird thing all around.
You got a sniper. I can't believe that glitter guy who was responsible for
Oh,
dirty.
come on. I was freaking ambushed.
And it happens, and we're in the top 10, so, someone in the top 10, so. Oh, he held up, alright, I'm kind of impressed. It happens. Let's see.
So, it's just always,
Hey, have you caught up on The Mandalorian with the 5th episode?
I already did. I catch up with it every time the new episode comes in.
That is such a good series. Like, I remember XL99 on Twitter saying that it should it should be as an example of what to do with a sci-fi show with the budget of a movie.
I'm not really sure about that.
That's why I might be getting it wrong. I really am sorry. Oh, speaking of Jedi Fallen Order, they're adding a photo mode. We talked about that earlier, I think. And yeah, I'm like looking at the news right now, just to like keep up. What is it that we forgot to talk about last week that happened around that time? Okay, let's. Oh yeah. Oh, I remember now. The Untitled Goose Game. It's gonna be out on Xbox and PS4.
I read about that.
And it's like
and
that, and like, especially on Game Pass. That's really surprising.
Well,
I am honestly tempted to stream that just to see how much havoc I wreak as a fucking goose.
I mean, honestly,
I'm a goose. I do whatever I want.
Just out of straight curiosity.
It looks like it's a very charming game. It looks very fun. It looks fun.
Go on, try to stop.
Yes, we got Lifeline.
If you can't
Oh, that's gonna make my job a lot. Oh my god, that's gonna make things a lot easier.
I did my hair for this. Nothing wrong with looking good in the ring.
Oh yes. She's no pun intended, a lifesaver.
This is your champion.
Okay, let's see what.
By the
What?
time you see me coming,
Oh.
I'll be going, and you'll be gone.
Control won like IGN's Game of the
Good thing my
Year
buddies and I aren't afraid of
for
heights.
this year. That's pretty cool.
Which game did?
Control, you ever heard of that game?
I think I've heard of it, but I just
It's like
anything of it.
remember I told you about SCP?
Just a thought we could land here.
I think so.
It's a lot like that where you're playing at this woman who came into the building finding answers and finds out everything is gone to her, and she has this really weird gun and she has to like set things right. You ever heard the creators behind Control? The ones who did
Follow the leader.
Max Payne and Alec.
Oh, I at least I know people behind Max Payne. I think I'm somewhat familiar with them.
I heard it's really good, and it's really it's bizarre but good. Bizarre and good.
Oh, at least I'm glad to hear that then.
Yeah. And sorry for like some of my words. It's like not only my autism it gives me.
No, you're fine though.
Just explain to the audience. That gives me trouble for like speaking, and also sometimes speaking to a live audience is kind of hard. Even though you can imagine it, either you can see the audience, and so you can imagine them being naked.
Yeah, I get what you're going for with it. Yeah, it's just overall though, I try to keep myself occupied on the good stuff that I could be able to, the good stuff that's at least going on around me though, even though there's unfortunately a lot of assholes who seem like they always want to deprive that joy in some form or another.
And Lifeline is disconnected. Fuck. I spoke too soon. Ah, shit.
I'm down. I got a bad guy.
Oh, hey, there's Caustic. Hi there. I want to hurry. I'm gonna get shot to death.
Sorry, I was just trying to get extra ammo.
Hey,
No kill
I'm
leader.
cool.
Watch your six.
Okay, use the smoke. Use the smoke. Ah, damn it! Just get my and
Fuck, yeah.
it happens.
These guys had better weapons than me.
Hey, I don't blame you. Remedy. Okay, there we go. Remedy. The the people behind Max Payne and Alec Wake. It's a lot like it has a lot of the things that shares many elements from the SCP Foundation. I remember in a really interview that they said they are inspired by the SCP Foundation. I recommend you check it out, but you have to be warned that some of the themes are pretty damn scary. And he was some pretty and at a few points he was some pretty dark topics. Just want to put that out there.
May have to go check that out then at some point.
Yeah. Oh shit! Wasteland 2 is free on GOG.com for. No shit! I'm gonna. I don't have GOG downloaded, but anyway. You ever heard of like the? Oh, have you heard about like Crisis on Infinite Earths, the TV version?
Well, yeah, I've been hearing a lot about it, mainly just because, especially with Brandon Ruth coming back as Superman, specifically as Kingdom Come Superman, and then Kevin Conroy who came back as Kingdom Come Batman.
Yeah, that's a nice friend. Holy shit! There's a fourth. Holy shit! There's a fourth Matrix movie coming out in 2021.
On the same day that John Wick 4 is coming out, which to me definitely is just a big coincidence.
Totally not a coincidence. Oh, totally coincidence.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
I mean,
sorry.
well, for Keanu Reeves, that's basically a really amazing time for him, though, because like this is probably the best his career has actually ever been, though. Like it would have seemed like it was the '90s, but no, he's been killing it the past several years.
Oh, yeah. And the upcoming season of Duck 2 is coming out on New Year's Day. BBC, I think. Yeah. The fourth Matrix movie, it looks like it's going to be scheduled for 2021. Not sure the exact date.
I saw it was in May. Oh well. Well, regardless though,
it's really surprising. I was not expecting it either. I was literally like browsing on the internet right now, and I just have to concentrate on sci-fi.com. Yeah, that's sci-fi.
I have to still watch the original Matrix movies because I know them up by reputation, but I do have to try to go watch those when I can.
Yeah. Oh, have you seen Dr. Sleep, by the way? I'm not sure if we talked about it.
I have not, but I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. I'm kind of surprised, the guy who did Independence Day, his movie somehow did better than I never even heard of it until recently.
Well, I would say that's in large part due to the fact that he released it on Veterans Day, a military movie on Veterans Day weekend. So that probably had that no doubt had a very big impact.
This might be a good place to land. Cancel that. Enemy spotted.
Oh my god, don't you hate when people decide to spam the ping system?
Yeah, I don't really experience too many issues there, but yeah, it can be annoying occasionally.
It's so annoying. What's up? I came close again. I'm wondering if you check my. Oh, hey there. Hey there, Zimmer. How's it going? Yeah, I'm actually streaming on like Mixer and Twitch at the same time, using Restream. Pretty neat, huh? All right, let's see. A Dune remake? Oh, I've heard about it, but really can't say much about it. And Oscar Isaac is gonna be in it. That's interesting. Ooh, a machine gun. Heard anything interesting? Shadowhawk?
As far as anything interesting, not so much on that. Just mainly just things I said earlier in the stream. From there though, because yeah, it's just only the things that annoy me with it, but even still, just always the things that are always on my mind, basically.
Oh, and I remember there's live action remake of Mulan coming out. And I was like, has the lead actress backtrack what she said about Hong Kong?
From what I've seen, no, she's more of a double down.
Shame. What did you watch that movie?
Yeah, because admittedly, I'm not the sort of person where opinions really end up affecting my ability to watch a movie, but when it's something like the actress actually having even saying that it's all right for what Hong Kong has been suffering for it, yeah, that's where I'm just like, no, I can't watch a movie that's with someone who's like that.
Yeah, yeah. I do appreciate the people working on it, but personally, I couldn't be myself too.
Like, it's one thing for me to go and see Joker or Venom, because at least with those ones, it's out of curiosity, and there's no real... In the case of Venom, there's no real bad morals at play for that, though, so at least it's more just a curiosity
I'm pretty
trip.
sure Venom nearly caused the partnership between Sony and Disney to end. I'm pretty damn sure.
I mean, Venom would have been its only leg to stand on, considering that Venom made a surprisingly huge haul at the box office for his very first movie. So I would say, yeah, I imagine that already made them super confident in whatever other spin-off projects they were going to want to do.
I honestly do not. I had said it before. I just don't trust Sony to do Spider-Man movies, live-action movies on their own.
Make this look good.
Crap! I didn't choose in time.
Come on, you see it?
I use heavy artillery.
So I would say from there, that's probably what I would say for that one. In the case of Joker, even though his politics, at least before going in, already seemed like it was super bad, before I actually saw that no, the movie really had no sort of point to it.
Yeah.
That it would be more of, at least I'll see how it is, just so I could see what kind of message I could glean from it. And then
there isn't much of a message, if there is, or didn't follow up on the message. I remember that.
Didn't really have it. But in the case of Mulan, this is where, like, when it starts to support someone who actively is like, oh yeah, and I wasn't confirmed though on it, but not that at least I could see. Apparently she wouldn't even have minded if they were killed on that. And I remember, I think it was that specifically that even had Jessie Long just being like, oh no, fuck this, I am not watching this movie after she saw that.
Yeah.
Which again, I can't blame her because it's like, she's
in mainland China, and I don't know if she was forced to say it. But
oh my god!
It seems more a genuine belief rather than forced to say it.
Hey, there's a whole team. Don't even go in there.
What's this guy saying?
Taking fire.
Ah, crap! I don't have my shield. I don't have my body shield.
I'm down.
Firing. Reload. That way. Get to bamboozling.
Ah, shit.
I'm down.
This is fucking trash, yo.
Attention.
Scanning the area.
Round one.
Shots fired.
Countdown.
This is trash.
Oh god. Okay, I got blown up. I got blown up by Octane. Where'd you get that grenade anyway?
You guys can't play like me.
Makes me want to take a long pause and
Come on, bro.
reflect and wait.
Let's hope this guy could carry the burden. Or lack of a better term, it's kind of embarrassing. Okay, I'm literally looking up news right now. I probably should have written it all down. Not well. Oh, have you played anything interesting? Aside from like Battlefront 2 or Battlefront 2? Any updates I should be worried about? I should know about?
Well, at least the Battlefront 2 Celebration Edition has been out, though, which at least gave new players basically the ability to unlock all previous appearances that have been out, as well as also the upcoming Rise of Skywalker appearances. And the way it works is if you're a brand new player, you can get it for $40. But if you're someone like you, Connor, or Nord, where you actually own the game, you can upgrade it for only $25. Or if you have EA Access, I got it for like $23.
Oh, that's
honestly,
really tempting. That's really tempting. I'll think about it. Is it limited? Is it limited time release? Is it limited time release?
No, it's available for. It's a complete edition. It's permanent.
Nice. And
so I would say.
So
I would definitely say, yeah, grab that if you can, because not only is it coming with all the previous appearances, it also is coming with the new Rise of Skywalker appearances coming out next week. Yeah.
Speaking of other games, I tried out the Halo Master Chief Collection, and Somehow, I managed to get the Easter eggs achievements. I wasn't even trying. That's just like, achievement unlocked. You found an Easter egg. Wait, what? How? I kind of wish I would have recorded them. It's just like, I am really confused how I managed to unlock these Easter eggs. I wasn't even trying. I swear. I was mostly.
Nah, it's fine like that though, where you could just be like naturally inclined for that sort of thing. Like for example, I suck with collectibles. If it were not for YouTube guides, I would pretty much never be able to get all the collectibles
oh my god,
in any game that I've played.
Yeah,
but my friend Lucas, for instance, he's like a natural with these collectibles. He can always guess at where they're going to be in any game he's playing. So like he just has that natural knack for it.
Yeah, so I take you ask him for collectibles. Like, hey, do you know where this collectible is at? Yeah, sure. I'll give you some pointers.
Yeah, he was always able to do that though, mainly just because since so many games of playing like Gears of War, where there was always collectibles to find, so he could usually be able to do
and there's like achievements to get all the collectibles in one playthrough. Oh boy.
So like he's able to frequently be able to do good guesswork on where they'll be. So yeah, it's just mainly that though, but only main things occupying my time as of late has just been whatever game I'm playing, but also Battlefront 2 though, since I've been having a lot of fun there, and especially the new reinforcement appearances that came out recently have also been super freaking awesome as well.
Ooh, reinforcement! Oh, reinforcement.
So they have
what news did they bring in?
There were 10 reinforcement appearances that they brought in. 4 commando droids, 3 ARC troopers, 2 clone commando skins, and 1 droideka skin. For the commando droid, they brought in 4, which involved the commander skin, and as well as also training, diplomat, as well as also the citadel skin, based on their appearances in that Clone Wars arc. For the ARC trooper, they had the Cobalt skin, the Barn operative skin, and the Lambent seeker skin. Both look really freaking awesome. The Cobalt skin, I basically say it's a 501st appearance because it looks exactly from there, which has been super great. The Clone Commando, which had 2 and one that was like a jungle appearance and one that was a separate appearance whose name I don't remember, but both are really nice. And the droid guy had a training droid skin, say for the Clone Commando, for the Commando droid, where they have training appearances from their Clone Wars arc, which looks really freaking awesome. I like using them.
Nice. Oh shit, we got enemies. Heads up.
Yeah. So I would say for the next stream, we'll probably go and play Battlefront 2 when the new Rise of Skywalker content comes in, just to go and showcase that, because it's looking really good there. And I'm really looking forward to when that gets brought to Capital Supremacy next month, actually.
Oh shit.
So officially the sequel trilogy will be going and having it.
I'm looking forward. And I think I should really catch up on the new Star Wars content.
Attention. Star Squadron Cannon. Oscar Mike. First blood. FNG knowledge
I freaking shot multiple times in the face and he was still alive.
Damn. Talk about unlucky, eh?
Oh well, so that's just how it ended up going.
Yeah. Man, not really much in the ways of news these days.
I mean, because it's just that so far not much has really been out to talk about as of now. So for me, it's just really been that, and then Rise of Skywalker coming out next week. But also, right before I go and see that one, I'm going to be seeing Bombshell.
Bombshell.
As well,
I never heard of that.
Bombshell is basically a movie that centers around some Fox News hosts, though, that basically were there, and apparently there was like a huge sexual assault scandal that happened on there. And
Bill O'Reilly. Oh, I know. I remember that.
So basically, that movie is focusing on that. The cast looks really good because since Margot Robbie and Nicole Kidman are part of it, and they're looking really solid in this. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go and give this a shot. I do understand which a lot of the criticisms people have of it, because even though it is definitely a Me Too story, it unfortunately involves people who are not very good people, so I can see why a lot of people
really?
felt very icky
Ow,
with
my
this.
nose.
I mean, because I can more of understand it because the people who are in question are the sort of ones who we don't want to. Which, for me, even though yes, I don't exactly have good feelings about a lot of none of the Fox News hosts that are there.
Yeah.
At least when it comes to things involving like Me Too issues, I tend to be someone who's like, at least I can still call those acts despicable.
Yeah, I facepalm myself so hard I hurt my nose. I'm good. I'm so good.
So yeah, I can get at least for why a lot of people won't see the movie on those grounds, which I don't blame them for.
There's another surprise news. There's gonna be another Bioshock game by a new 2K studio.
And apparently they've been working on it for at least some good time now, which for me doesn't shock me that they were working on this. I always felt like another Bioshock game.
Here it goes with the radio
I
thing.
always felt like it was going to be how Bethesda was doing with Fallout 4, where they had one in development for a long time, like in Fallout 4's case. They had been in development since 2009, and so they were just waiting years and years until they felt like they had it right.
Yeah.
And so for a new Bioshock, I always felt like it was going to be something along those lines.
Although
like Fallout 4, I can't wait for when the actual Bioshock game comes out and all these takes of it being mediocre.
Hemlock here.
Thank you.
Like for me, it feels like they're the same kind of game as like always predicting people's reactions to it is always going to be something that I just naturally expect. Like say how for Cats, how a lot of people are looking forward to it and sort of it's going to be a so bad it's good movie, and I can't wait till the actual movie comes out and they're like, no, it's actually just normal garbage. Like Venom was. Do you remember that Venom came out this year? Or was it? Yeah,
late last year. Back in October, I think.
Oh, late last year. Wow, it came out so close to this year. My mind frequently thinks it was this year.
It happens. So,
so for me, I just end up thinking that Caps is going to go more or less in that same vein, where people are looking forward to this. Oh my God, it's going to be a so bad it's good movie, and then it's going to come out and they're just like, oh no, it's actually just regular bad.
Stock here. Level 1.
I could use that.
yeah.
Using grapple.
I've heard really weird rumors that Sony wants to add Inventor to the MCU. Like
I mean, as far as I don't
Thank
think
you.
that specific movie will be, but I have no doubt the character will certainly be integrated at some point.
Oh, very well.
yeah.
One sec, healing up.
But the question would be, who would really have it though? Because usually, though, it would just be Eddie Brock, but Venom has had like a whole host of different people who it has been bonded to over the years. So not sure how for it, and I'm not really expecting them to integrate that character anytime soon.
Yeah. I honestly do not understand Sony pictures sometimes.
I mean, a lot of baffling decisions on there, though, but who freaking knows what's going on there at this point.
Yeah. I kind of feel like I think I said it before, but I honestly hope that Into the Spider-Verse isn't just a fluke.
Yeah, it looks as if, though, it's certainly going to be just a really great feature for it. Looking forward to whatever
it's gonna come out in It's gonna come out a few years from now.
Yeah,
So
I know.
I really am glad they're taking the time. I wonder how.
So really looking forward to seeing how that goes, because Into the Spider-Verse was easily among my most favorite movies of 2018. So
Yes.
definitely just looking forward
same.
to that. And at least the same creative team, or at least most of the same creative team, is for the sequel.
Yeah.
So for it also gives me more hope that it's in good hands.
Yeah, I really do hope so, because Sony Pictures do not have a good history with handling the franchise.
Patching myself up.
And the Emoji movie. Holy crap!
Then there's that Playmobil movie, but I don't know if it was Sony or whoever else.
The what movie?
Playmobil movie, which apparently the only reason I know about it is that even though that it has been on my AFC app because it's a movie that was released, is that of a $75 million budget, it only made $640,000 in the box office.
How did that happen?
Let's just say it released itself way too closely to another super big Disney movie that just came out.
Oh, which one? Which one?
Frozen 2.
Oh shit! Wow, that talk
Which
about bad timing.
even still, even if it was not on those grounds, I would say, what the fuck made you think anyone was going to see this movie?
Yeah. Oh, and speaking
I
of
mean,
like Sony
the marketing
pictures,
has been, it's like marketing was non-existent. Or also, don't really seem to have it. Playmobil, I don't even know what that even is. I'm guessing it's some toy of some sort.
Yeah.
It came out that way back when. So it's
Extended
like,
heavy
not many
mag
people
here.
really care about that. And so what makes you think this is going to succeed? And again, falls more or less to the same thing as that Arctic Dogs movie that I saw, because at work, the movie trailers frequently played, and that was one that played a lot. And it's like it only made $5 million on its $50+ million budget. And it's like, what makes you think this is going to succeed?
Send it on my decoy.
It also doesn't help that
I
the
got a bad
animation
guy.
looks like shit, so it didn't help there either.
Alright, enemy down.
I am just wow. Oh, speaking of Sony pictures, have you seen the trailer for the new Ghostbusters movie? Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Haven't seen it yet, but honestly, I'm not really having some big thing of seeing it because
Yeah,
I'm not
same.
such a
I'm not.
huge
I'm not blown away
Ghostbusters
by the
fan.
trailer. I'm not blown away by the trailer. I have to be honest.
I guess I already did it now.
Ah, crap. Let us pick you up.
man, we lost
Give it
one.
a sec.
Now I have to do extra work.
Our third wheel is Helio shit. Ow, yeah, I wasn't quite blown away by the trailer for despite like people like Paul Rudd and stuff. Like Paul Rudd in the movie and Floyd, the kid from Stranger Things and the It movies. Have you seen It movies?
I haven't seen the It movies, no.
I heard they're really good.
I'm the kill leader. How about that?
The second one slightly less so than the first, largely because of the pacing. Like it was really long. Oh, I see. Okay, I see a respawn point.
Respawn beacon here. Here I go.
Crap. All right. Where's the you? And hopefully I don't get shot.
I mean, the reason I really never saw
Back
it
over there.
wasn't so much based on the quality of the movie, but just because, look, I always say that there's always a thing that most people are there's always a thing a lot of people have that they're actually scared of. Mine
It's
is horror
clowns.
movies.
Oh yeah, that's what my mother is also afraid of.
Syringe here.
Like, it's not though that even when the horror movies are really good, it's always like really freaking easy to scare me. Like, even though Brightburn isn't really so much a super scary movie,
You're welcome.
it was a movie
I
that
love
gave
you
me
too.
nightmares for at least the next
gotta
couple
patch
weeks
myself up. Hang
afterwards
on.
because I just have a hard time dealing with horror.
I sympathize. I have a bit of a
So
hard
it's
time with
always
horror myself.
things like that. Although in Brightburn's case, I actually overall enjoyed it. I just felt more of that, even if I thought it had good goals, I just felt it played it too safe. But yeah, I still remember it from there, and that was why anytime I saw the movie on like my second and third viewing, I had to watch them while it was in daytime because like it just aggravates my senses too much. And it's like,
Yeah,
wait,
I
so why does that
sympathize a lot.
scare you? I'm like, why does it scare you? Well, I'm like, hey, I didn't say the fear was rational.
Who says fear can be rational?
I mean, usually because when people are scared of things, they at least can
Yeah.
be understandable. Like, if someone's scared of fire, well, it's very obvious.
Yeah.
to understand why.
Okay. Yeah, that's poorly worded on my part. I'm sorry.
So it's more of a, like, what I mean by, like, irrational fears are things that can't harm you, but it still can scare you anyway.
Yeah.
For me,
Okay. That's a fair point. I'm
doesn't-
sorry. Yeah.
So it's things like that, like for horror movies, even ones that do the same like sort of things that a lot of people rail other movies for. Again, it's just not this thing where it's like anytime I see it, it still just like scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, and sends a shiver down your spine. That sort of thing.
Yeah, it has that shiver down my spine. My skin feels like it's crawling, like things like that, and it just like has me
Yeah.
doing that.
Get the bamboos
So like that's why for horror movies I don't watch, not because I really ever think that it'll be so much whether it's a good or bad movie, but it's just that it's way too easy to scare me,
Yeah.
and like it frequently gives me nightmares.
Yeah,
when I
some of
do
the
that.
people. Yeah, back to Ghostbusters. Some of the people that I know like the trailer. Others not exactly. Even comparing it negatively, like if
Hey, what the-
like compared to
the
like
hell's going on here?
trying to imitate Force Awakens in terms of
Lucky us,
like
we are already inside the
aping
ring.
on nostalgia, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's what I saw a lot of people saying as well, though. Which, based on that, I don't really blame them on that. It certainly sounds at least fair enough of a critique to
Copy
not
that.
see it, though, than anything. It at least, though, is something that... Fuck, I'm stuck. I can't move.
Incoming care package. I love loot.
User ability. User ability.
Going to phase.
I can't move with that either.
Oh shit. Oh.
This is
Fuck.
a weird glitch that I found.
Ready to fly on a zip line?
Record it.
I am.
And record it and send it. Oh shit! I see. Another shit.
There's another squad attacking.
Come on! No.
Look out, grenade.
And I'm down.
Like, again, I have no idea what the hell happened. Like, I'm frozen. I can't move.
Damn. Oh. Stop listening, Xbox. Anyway, oh crap! I forgot you were still in. You might want to if you're still stuck.
Yeah, I'm exiting now.
Yeah. Oh. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah. Speaking of Bethesda, Bethesda is suspending development for the Elder Scrolls Legend. Yeah. So the game will still be around. It's just that there won't be any more new content by the looks of it.
I mean, it seems that for maybe because I guess the trading card game, is it Legends or Blades that there's
Legends. Legends.
The card game.
Yeah, that's the card game.
Well, I can still say that sucks because then that means that those developers are out of jobs, though. But
No, they're
at
just
least,
they're being moved to different tasks.
That's good news.
By the sounds of it, let me check. Yeah, that's yeah. It just won't affect the crew and anything. Oh, have you heard that Red it decided to settle on a $10 million agreement with 1,000 female employees over the like abuse and stuff?
I'm not familiar with what it is.
Basically, there's a lot of there's like a sexual abuse. I might be wrong. There's been a lot of abuse towards the female developers at Riot Studios.
Oh, that one. Yes, I actually did see about that.
I've got everything you need.
Yeah. $10 million for 1,000. If you divide that, so like 10 million to a million for 100.
Come on,
100.
That's about 10,000. That's about 10,000 for each employee affected.
What you see is not what you get.
You said it was 1 million.
10 million. 10 million for 1,000, I believe. And well, there's more than 1,000, but I'm rounding down for simplicity's sake.
Go back to boot camp.
4,000 of them, so $10,000 each. Yeah, at least there was something there. At least it's progress. At least they're having essentially reparations.
I wish it would have been more, but
I say we land here.
All right.
Accepted. I'm here. You're not.
So I would say at least there, it's at least progress though for that. I mean, that I know that there's also the other thing, which is where
it's about
apparently
it's about
lost his case.
Yeah, it's about 6 o'clock here at my place. It's about 8 o'clock at your place, right?
Yeah, 8 o'clock at my place. Yeah, I still got time for like another match, and then I'll head out.
Yeah, it's been
after like this match, I'll go log off then.
Depending on how quickly the matches quickly the matches go.
Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, that's where it's at. And at least I'm at least glad though that Big Pinata ended up losing his case on there. Now apparently for Dragon Ball Fighters, they already have his
Wait, I'm sorry, what's going on?
Dragon Ball Fighters officially end up replacing Big Pinata's
and replace her with someone else. I've actually tweeted about that. Yeah. Fuck Vic.
That's I would say from it though, it's at least props for Bandai Namco for at least being able to do something like that. Because to me, it always seemed like it'd be a very practical decision for a game that's kind of old and looks like it's already out of support. But even still,
Wait,
wrong
that game's
for
old?
that.
I thought it was one of the new ones. One of the new
It came out last year from that, but except for my knowledge, though, it's not. It's only something that would be something because fighting games usually don't last super long for that.
Unless,
so hence why that was my
it's
guess.
like Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur. Speaking of Soul Calibur, there's the second season for Soul Calibur 6 came out. Yeah, over here, might need to be picked up soon.
So even still, good to see at least that it was there, though, because again, I'm just glad though that at least Vic is actually having consequences for his bad actions.
Yes, very much so. Why does it look like you're punching me?
Oh, sorry. I actually didn't know that was you, since usually I expect you to be Pathfinder.
Recharging my shield.
Yeah. Oh, do
you need a med kit? I can go give you one.
Yeah, that'll be great. I'll see if I can find some shield batteries.
Here, over here.
Perfect.
Hold on.
Okay, give me a second.
Forget medkit here.
Alright, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. I'm fine. Just fixing up.
Oh, much better. Alright, should be good now. Only got this submachine gun to my name. Fancy looking submachine gun with spikes and stuff. Huh. What did I just pick up? Stuff. Do you need it?
No, I'm good for now.
Alright, great.
Ring's not too far. 45
Well, have you
left.
also been playing like Gears of War 5? Like Gears 5? The new characters from Dark Fate are out.
Yeah, I definitely have to go play some way I can try to get those new characters, though. I at least just hope that getting them isn't as grindy as it was for the first one, because it was just way too much work that they wanted to ask for it, though. And it took way
I was
too
talking
long.
about like Grace from you just need to buy the pack. It costs
Oh,
about,
the pack is still available?
yeah, the pack is still.
Alright, perfect. I'll have to go grab that, because Terminator Dark Fate was a great movie. I actually found myself really surprised by how good it was, because I was more someone who was more
I'm actually kind of
optimistic.
surprised that people are being a little divisive about that movie.
Mainly just because they're super pissy that John Connor ended up getting killed in the first act of the movie for it, because they were basically saying how it was disrespectful of it, when no, it was just actually keeping in mind with what this was, though. And in general, I never really, even though I've always loved Terminator, I never really liked the idea of a whole, this is the one man and he's the only one capable of leading humanity to victory. That always felt very off for me as a thing, though.
Why does it feel off? I'm curious.
Mainly just because I don't, this whole thing about the whole individual who ends up doing, is the only one who can do any specific thing, when everything in my, from history has shown has always been group efforts. Just something I never really got for it. But even still, since Connor already effectively had his time removed, I don't really see why it was ever bad to have him killed off for it. And besides, we had 5 Terminator movies dedicated to John Connor. I'm pretty sure we would be fine with one not having him as the center.
It's a bit of a bum that he gets killed off, and I think that people are also pissed that it didn't follow up, that it didn't do the themes in the second Terminator movie justice.
I honestly think it did though for it, but it's just the problem is a lot of people don't really know what those themes actually were. Because again, it goes into the same thing where a lot of people don't really understand what the previous movies were actually about. I'm already good on ammo, so I'm fine for that.
Yeah, I was talking about the sniper rifle.
Oh, actually no, I got it. Never mind.
Alright, so, okay, we're gonna have my drones scout, and there's a train coming by. Do you want to take it?
I see a train over there.
No, we're good where we are right now.
Alright, good. I wonder when that Rogue One prequel will come out on Disney Plus.
I think they said it was due for a 2021 release, if memory serves me right.
I'm recalling my drone.
Alright, train stopped, so we can make a go for it. And there's a
Yeah, found a supply bin here.
If you're wondering how crypto is Korean, I look it up. So looking forward to this to the 12th series of Doctor Who, with Jodie Whittaker as the 13th Doctor. Nice.
Enemy agent right here.
We don't we don't have to worry about them.
Ring countdown.
They'll just
We should probably go inside the circle then.
good idea. Gonna have to make a trip
So it
around.
is. Yeah, looking that way. All right, let's go this way then.
Yeah. So how you been doing?
So far, so good. Again, since college has been over, I only have like 2 more classes and I get my AA. And then I have to do another 2 years so I can get my bachelor's.
Nice.
And, which will be for management. And then I'll be having my project management certificate there. And I hope that through my college that I can get internship
I'm not sure if I
at
mentioned
the
this,
local
I'm not
EA
sure
studio
if I
that
mentioned this
live
before,
by.
but a couple of years ago, I graduated from Davis Tech community. They used to call it the ATC, short for Davis Tech Applied. Okay, got him. I realize I only have 1 weapon. I'm a dork.
I downed an enemy.
Recharging my shields.
Holy shit, we down enemies.
I need to recharge my shield.
Reloading.
Hey, on.
Shot at.
Sorry, it's just refresh.
Okay, down. I killed one.
That's one step.
Oh shit, there's a sniper.
And speaking of snipers,
I've been
Fuck.
down.
okay,
Understood.
hang on a sec. Let me heal up first. Let me heal real quick.
Yeah, just.
Ah, crap.
If you ask me, you weren't half bad.
If it weren't for that sniper, I would have been able to have helped you out.
Ah, damn it. And I thought I had a good shot, but I'm not so sure. I'm not sure now. Ugh. Searching right now. Ooh, nice. I got an Apex pack. I'm gonna check it out. Oof. So, do you want to go for another match, or are we done for tonight?
I think we're gonna have to be done for the night though. So I can
Yeah,
just make
yeah.
sure
You
that I
gotta get ready for your movie. It starts at 9:15, 9:45.
Yeah, 9:45 is when it starts though. So just gonna make sure so I
Yeah.
can get ready then.
Yeah, gotta get ready. All right. Thanks for playing with me,
Yeah, no problem, man.
and have a good day, everybody. Have a good night. Have fun. Goodbye, everybody, and thank you, Shadow Hawk, for
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely try to do this sometime. Probably not next week because it's gonna be with the Rise of Skywalker there. So
Yeah,
we'll
so
just
we-
be
so
going,
we gotta-
the week,
we-
ap-
So we
the
gotta
week
try that.
after next week. We'll be doing a stream.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, have a good night, everybody.
All right, have a good night.